Okay, it's on. Okay. Good morning, good morning, good morning, by the way. It's a beautiful Sunday. Thanks so much for joining us here this morning. We're going to do something a little different this morning. I'm ERGJ, Certified Financial Educator. Good morning to you, by the way. Thank God it's Sunday. It's another great day to be alive, another great day, phenomenal day to make some money. The church folk are in a giving mood, and I plan to get some of what they're giving, which is their money. Fantastic, man. So I'll be out today. We're going to Moorish Medicine over there, make a little bit of money today, and we move on into Labor Day. Gonna get a lot of stuff done, man. A lot of stuff got to get done this weekend. I'm not taking a day off. I'll be resting, but I'll be actually accomplishing things that's been on the backlog while everybody is off. But I hope everybody's doing well this morning. Thanks so much for joining, by the way. Good morning to you. Mr. McCluskey's up in the house. Good morning to you. Instagram Live, YouTube Live. We're going to be doing a study today. We're going to be going through the law of success, and we're going to be in lesson number 10, which is accurate thought. And I started reading this last night, just a little bit, just getting out. I said, oh, Lord, this is serious. And so hopefully you guys are waking up ready to rock and roll. Hopefully you guys are waking up ready to change the way that you think, and you'll change your life forever. This is so important, to change the way you think. I've been thinking about some people that I know and some things that they're doing. I'm just like, man, if we can just get you to just tweak how you think just a little bit, you'll be able to take your idea, your concept to a whole nother level. But I'm telling you, the hardest thing to do, the hardest thing to change, the hardest thing to help people with is what they think. I'm telling you, man, you can change a whole lot, but changing a made-up mind, changing how someone views their world and they perceive their world, man, that's the hardest thing to change in somebody's mind, because really they got to change it for themselves. And sometimes what I found is the best way to leave an example is just keep on walking. Just be the example instead of talking about all the things. So anyway, this is New Black Wall Street Book Club, where black folk do read. Good morning to you, Miss Johnson. Thanks so much for joining. Go ahead and put a console. Black folk do read. That's right. Black folk do read. You put it in a book, we absolutely will find it. Well, I'm not going to take up too much more of your time. We got to get this thing rocking and rolling. We're going to be starting on time, people. When y'all join is when y'all join, but I got things to do. And so we're going to hop right into this thing this morning. New Black Wall Street Book Club. You know what time it is. DJ, hit the music.
Oh, the words from the pages change your world. Your world can change your heart, it can change your mind, it can change your life. World can change your world.
Now, I really have been thinking, good morning, guys. I'm ERGJ, Certified Financial Educator, your host of the New Black Wall Street Book Club. I'm really thinking about changing this to the Black Billionaires Book Club. I mean, I'm going to have to get some new music and all that stuff, but I'm really considering changing this thing to the Black. Matter of fact, that's what we're going to do. The Black Billionaires Book Club. That's going to be the new name. At some point in time in the next couple of weeks, I got to give me some new jingles. Got to pay for some new jingles. We got to change the New Black Wall Street to the Black Billionaires Book Club. That's what we're going to do, the BBBC, the Black Billionaires Book Club. Yeah, I like the ring. I like the sound. I like the ring of that. Well, black folk do read, man. You put it in the book, we absolutely will find it. Today, we're going through the law of success. We're picking up on a study. Everybody putting also study. Of course, not only am I the the CEO of ERGJ Enterprise, ERGJ Black Bazaar, ERGJ Black Bookstore, which we are going to be ending soon. The Black Bookstore will be converting into the Black Bazaar. So we'll be shutting that business down pretty soon. We're just going to be focusing on two things particularly. But I'm also international best-selling author, Yeah, I said that. Because this book is actually in about 6, 7, 8, about 10 different countries right now. The Black Billionaires Club. That's right. The Black Billionaires Club is a study of black wealth. It's a study of the 12 richest black people in the world today and how they built their wealth. And I just believe that if you want to be wealthy, you should study wealthy people. Well, that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be studying today, not necessarily the wealthy people, but a wealthy book. It's the Master Wealth Builder's complete and original lesson plan for achieving your dreams. This is actually our foundation book for the Millionaire Mastermind call that we do on Sunday nights. Of course, you would know about that if you are already part of the Black Billionaires Club. Matter of fact, you can pick this book up at theblackbillionairesclub.com, theblackbillionairesclub.com. Also, while you're there, you can check out our club. We got 2 days left On September 4th, we got open enrollment right now. If you want to join the club, you want to walk away from the crowd of broke and hang out with the few who are serious about winning with money, we can do that at the blackbillionairesclub.com. Join the BBC today. It's a $10 decision to change your bank account forever. I said that. It's a $10 decision to change your bank account forever. Matter of fact, after today, after Saturday, after Tuesday, it'll be a $20 decision. And then it's going to become a $30 decision. And then by the time you move, it'll probably be a $50 decision. See, that's what happens. We say, why is it so expensive? Well, why'd you wait so long? Why'd you procrastinate? That's what we should be saying. Why did you procrastinate? Right? So anyway, you can pick that book up. You can also join us there. We'll be doing a broadcast on Tuesday to go through all the benefits. We put that on ERGJ Enterprises. We'll add that to our YouTube page here. We put it on to ERGJ Black Bazaar. We posted a lot of places, so you get a chance to watch that and see all the benefits as well as on the page itself and make a decision. Well, let's get right into what we're going to talk about today, which is the law of success. We're in lesson. I like this book because it's lessons. It's not chapters. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, you didn't see that? Oh, this is a Black-owned company, Black Legacy. That's right. I got the T-shirt, Black Legacy. Go to www.blacklegacy.com, blklegacy.com. Pick you up a dope T-shirt. You want to rock like me? blklegacy.com. Black-owned business, Black-owned apparel company. Pick that thing up today. Not only I'm about it, by the way. I promote Black businesses. That's what I do for fun because I love Black businesses. I want to see them succeed. We got a Black club. Right? I'm not racist or anything. I just love my people. I love you too. Right? I love my people though. I want to see us level up. That's what we're gonna do, man. Law of Success, written by Mr. Napoleon Hill. Of course, Napoleon Hill also wrote or is a writer of Think and Grow Rich. And I was talking to my friend the other day. I said, it's interesting that we have a society of people who complain about not having money, yet they won't invest a little bit of money to read the books that'll help them get money. I was like, what is it to be a 30-year-old or 40-year-old who was broke but never read Think and Grow Rich? I mean, you never read the book. You never read the Bible. You never read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. You never read the Black Billionaires Club. You never read Richest Man in Babylon. You never read any book about money, and you wonder why you're broke. Because you never read the book. That's an interesting phenomenon. To have all of this wisdom and knowledge available to you and you never read it. You first got to acquire it or borrow it, rent it from the library or something, but you never read the books about money. And you wonder why you don't have any. Man, let's get right into this thing today, man. Everybody put a on accurate thought. That's right, accurate thought. Lesson number 10. Get right into our discussion today. This is going to be probably till about 9 o'clock. We're not playing around. By the way, this is not a 30-minute. It's hard to do a 30-minute study. This is going to be an hour study. A study. Once you begin to study the right things, you begin to get the right results because you can take the right actions. Study. Accurate thought. First says you can do it if you believe that you can. That's a quote that Napoleon used on all of it. You can do it if you believe you can. Do you believe that you can? Great question to ask to start off our morning this Sunday. Do you believe that you can? It's a day of belief today. Do you believe that you can? Or do you believe you got to go somewhere to do it? Do you believe you got to go to church in order to do it? Do you believe you got to hear from the pastor in order to do it? Do you believe that you can? Now, I found it very interesting when as I read the great book, he talked about this centurion man who just believed. He didn't go to church. He didn't know God. He just believed in this man called Jesus. And for some strange reason, in the book, it said this was the greatest man of faith in the book. And he wasn't even an attender, a follower, or none of that stuff. Isn't this interesting that someone could be named the greatest man of faith in the book and he don't even follow God? Supposedly. He just believed. So there's something to be said about this word belief. Everybody put in comments below, believe. Do you believe that you can? You can do it if you believe that you can. Now, this is at one and the same time the most important, the most interesting, and the most difficult to present lesson on this entire course of the law of success. He called it important, interesting, and difficult, all about the course, which is a study, it's a class on success. We are reading a class. We're going through a class on success. It's important because it deals with the principle which runs through the entire course. It's interesting for the very same reason. Now, it's difficult to present for the reason that it will carry the average student far beyond the boundary line of his common experiences into the realm of thought. Everybody put in console thought. The realm of thought in which he is not accustomed to dwell. Now, this is interesting. He's basically saying that the average person isn't used to thinking. Wow. The average individual in our society does not think. That's basically what he just said. So he's saying the average student is going to be difficult for him because he's not used to thinking. Now, I know I'm not talking to the average this morning because you wouldn't be up at 8 o'clock in the morning tuning in to the Black Billionaires Club book club if you were average. See, the average person is still sleeping right now. The average person is hitting the snooze button right now. The average person finds everything else to do but to level up right now. So you're not average. I'm talking to the people that's going to watch this in 25 weeks. That's what I'm talking to. But you're not average. But the average person simply does not think for themselves. Unless you study this lesson with an open mind, everybody put in also open mind, you will miss the very keystone to the arc of this course. And without this stone, you can never complete your temple of success. This lesson will bring you a conception of thought which may carry you far above the level to which you have risen by the evolutionary process to which you have been subjected in the past. And for this reason, you should not be disappointed if at first reading you do not fully understand it. Most of us disbelieve that which we cannot understand. Most of us don't believe that which we don't understand. This is why when people or you might introduce something new to a group or an organization or your family. They don't believe. You might have a new plan, a new thought, a new goal, and because it's new to them, they don't believe. Most people don't believe what they don't understand. Now, I don't know about you, but I found in life that I don't have to understand everything. Some things I'll never understand. But it's not about my understanding. Get this, it's not about your understanding. The things that you get in life is not always about your understanding. It's more so about your belief. See, too many of us are trying to be so intellectual, so smart, that we have to try to understand everything, understand how it works, why it works, will it work, when it works, all this stuff. And they never get to belief because they're still trying to figure out all of the ins and outs, and we call it the details. They're so detail oriented that they have to know everything before they get started. And I'm trying to tell you this morning that one of the main reasons why you are not where you like to be is because you're trying to figure it all out before you get started. Here's what you need to know this morning. That if you just get started, you will begin to figure it out. Then this is hard. This is probably the most difficult transition in thinking and understanding and belief for most people. They go from being in a situation where they're an employee and they're told everything. And hopefully they understand everything. As a matter of fact, it doesn't matter whether they get started or not because they still gonna get paid the same thing. And so they just sit there and they be like, okay, I'm just gonna follow the leader. But when you step over or when you cross over into deciding that you're gonna do something for yourself, you no longer are following a leader, you become the leader. And therefore you have to do in order to understand. Matter of fact, I watched something, I looked at something this morning. And a guy asked, would you pay $96? Listen to this. Would you pay $96 to learn how to make six figures? Right? Great question to ask. Matter of fact, I asked that question this morning. Would you pay $96 to learn how to make six figures? That was the question. Now, of course, most people, they're going to say yes. I pay $96 to learn how to make six figures, right? I said no. Now, here's interesting. Most people, they're like, why would you? Because I understand something. I would pay $96 to make $100,000 or six figures. I wouldn't pay $96 just to learn. Why? Because knowing is only half the battle. Just because I know doesn't mean that I will do. At least I know, though. So most people just want to know. I don't want to know. I want to do. There's a difference between knowledge and wisdom. I want the wisdom, the know-how, and the application so I see the results in my bank account. Yes, I would pay for that. Most people are only satisfied with paying how to know. I want to pay to do. That's the difference. It's a different thinking. I don't know. I just think different than most people. I got tired of wasting my money just knowing. I want to spend my money, invest my money doing. This is why I teach people how to do, not just how to know. Everybody put in the comments, there's a difference between knowing how to do and knowing how to know, or learning how to know. Most people just want to learn how to know. I just want to know. No, I want to do. Good morning to you, True Empress over at Instagram Live. How many guys saying this morning you want to do? You're done just thinking about it. You're done just knowing about it. You are saying, I want to do it. Action speaks louder than words. Action speaks much louder than words. And it is with knowledge of the human tendency in the mind that I caution you against closing your mind if you do not grasp all that is in this lesson at first reading. Hey, Aaron's up in the house. Thanks so much for joining. I got the Black Legacy shirt on, by the way. For thousands of years, when men made ships of wood and of nothing else, they used wood because they believed that it was the only substance that would float. But that was because they had not yet advanced far enough in their thinking. And I'm trying to tell you this morning, many of us have not advanced far enough in our thinking. Oh, True, you working on your LLC? What you do? What you do over there? What you working on? What you building over there? All right, True Empress, better do that thing. I want to know about this business. It says they hadn't advanced far enough in their thinking process to understand the truth that steel will float, and that is far superior to wood for the building of ships. They did not know that anything could float which was lighter than the amount of water it displaced. And until they learned of this great truth, they went on making ships of wood. I want you to take this concept that he's talking about right now, and I want you to think about what it is that you are doing, that you have been doing for a long time. And you may believe that this is the only way that it can be done. Now, here's what you also learn in life, especially in math, because they teach you math, but they don't teach you money. At least in math, they teach you that there's more than one way to skin a cat. See, some people that have the audacity to think that the way that they think it should be done is the only way that it should be done. And so it's just called an ego trip. They're like, no, this is the only way that we can. No, it ain't the only way. There's more than one way to get $1 million, $1 billion, $1 trillion. There's more than one way to do everything. But some people think that their way is the only way. And that's called ego trip. That's called conceit. That's called whatever you want, pride and puffed up. But you'll learn that 2 + 2 = 4. 1 + 3 = 4. 3 + 1 = 4. 4 times 1 = 4. 8 divided by 2 = 4. 16 divided by 4 = 4. 4 times 1 = 4. 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 = 4. So there's many ways to get to an end result. There's not just one way to do anything. But some of us are so puffed up, so filled with pride, we think that our way is the only way. And we teach that to our children, by the way. Parents, you teach that to your children. You teach pride to your children, that this is the only way to do this. Are you that silly to believe that your way is the only way? Matter of fact, you say it's the only way, it's the best way. Until somebody does it better than you. and they do it faster than you. And they do it more efficient than you. And they make more money than you. Then you look at, oh, I guess that wasn't the only way. No. There's more ways to skin a cat. But are you going to advance in your thinking? Good morning to you, Miss Grace Books, by the way. Thanks so much for joining us here. Black Billionaires Club, this new Black Wall Street book club. We're going through the book Law of Success. We're in the chapter of the lesson, Accurate Thoughts. You ever thought about that term? Is it possible that your thinking is inaccurate? Your thinking is holding you back. You're limited by how you think. Your bank account is limited by how you think. Your relationships are limited by how you think. Your community, your family is limited by how you think. Your business is limited by how you think. Until some 25 years ago, most men thought that only the birds could fly. But now we know the man can not only equal the flying of the birds, but he can excel it. Men did not know until quite recently that the great open void known as the air is more alive and more sensitive than anything that is on the earth. They did not know that the spoken word would travel through the ether with the speed of flash of lightning without the aid of wires. How could they know this when their minds had not been unfolded sufficiently to enable them to grasp it? The purpose of this lesson is to aid you in unfolding and expanding. Everybody put in the console, unfold and expand. It's to help you to unfold and to expand your mind. To unfold and to expand your mind. That you'll be able to think with accuracy. For this unfolding will open you to a door that leads to all the power you will need in completing your temple of success. All through and preceding lessons of this course, you observe that we have dealt with principles which anyone could easily grasp and apply. You'll observe that these principles have been so presented that they lead to success as measured by material wealth. This seemed necessary for the reason that to most people, the word success and the word money are synonymous terms. Obviously, the previous lessons of this course were intended for those who look upon worldly things and material wealth as being all that there is to success. Presenting the matter in another way, I was conscious of the fact that the majority of the students of this course would feel disappointed if I pointed out to them a roadway to success that leads through other than the doorways of business and finance and industry. For it is a matter of common knowledge that most men want success that is spelled with dollar signs. Trip said, real estate, I want to distance myself from personal liability. Absolutely, that's smart. Tenants are messy. Yes, do I have an LLC of course? Yes, I do. I have an LLC. If you are not learning and growing, you're dead. Yes, many ways to do the book again. Okay, we're going through the book, The Law of Success. You see that big, thick Bible of success, The Law of Success. The Law of Success. This is a book that we go through in our mastermind group. Of course, you're not part of the mastermind group if you're not part of the Black Billionaires Club. You want to join the Black Billionaires Club. You want to roll with us. You want to build with us. You want to make money with us. You're tired of doing it by yourself. You want to learn from people who are smarter, wiser, richer, wealthier, all than you. Right? And you want to practice group economics. You want to practice collective thought. You want to do what everybody else is talking about. Join the Black Billionaires Club. TheBlackBillionairesClub.com. TheBlackBillionairesClub.com. You got 2 days left. It's $10 a month. After Tuesday, it's going to be $20 a month. Then I'm going to take it to $30 a month. I'm tired of playing with procrastinating people. You either get serious or you get left. It's just that simple. Don't worry, though. We'll come back for you when we get to where we're going. All right? $10 decision to change your bank account. $10 decision to change your circle. $10 decision to change your life forever. All right. Very well. Let us who are satisfied with the standard of success have it. But some there are who will want to go higher up the ladder. Everybody putting console higher. You want to go higher. Y'all want you to understand that money is the low point. I mean, money is Money is the low. Go way higher in success, way higher in achievement, way higher in growth and development, way higher than money. Money is just easy to talk about because you can count it. It's tangible. But we're talking about some intangible stuff today. If you want to go higher up the ladder, such a success which is measured in other than material standards. And it is for their benefit in particular that this and the subsequent lessons of this course are intended. Accurate thought involves two fundamentals which all who indulge in must observe. Number one, to think accurately, you must separate facts from mere information. Oh, this is a big one. Everybody putting down, so separate facts from mere information. Separate facts from information. In order to think accurately, you must first separate facts from mere information. Have you ever, maybe on social media, or maybe on a blog, or maybe in conversation, you said one simple fact? For example, you could say something like, the Giants won the Super Bowl in such and such year. And that's a fact, right? But then people who don't like that fact bring on information about why not, and all this extra stuff. And it's like, all I did was just state one simple fact. They want information. You like, I'm just dealing in facts. For example, I said the other day, now 1 of the 12 Black billionaires built their wealth through MLM or multi-level marketing. That's a fact. But of course, we have people who want to bring information to try and dumb down, try to discredit a fact. They want information. I'm simply stating a fact. It's crazy. I'm telling you, you gotta get it. We, not them, we have to separate facts from information in order to think accurately. This is an easy way to tell whether you're dealing with someone who thinks accurately. Can they separate facts from mere information? There's so much information available to you that is not based upon facts. Second, you must separate facts into two classes. So first you got to separate the facts from information. Now that you got the facts, then you have to separate the facts into two categories, two classes. One is the important facts, and then two unimportant facts. Whoa. Now, barely put, we can say important or unimportant. Or barely put, we can say relevant or irrelevant. How many of you guys know some people that you can say something to, or you can have a conversation with? I'm just gonna be me. Typically women, okay? Women want to go through all the unimportant information. They call it because they detail oriented. They want all the stuff that's not relevant. You be like, why we gotta go we gotta have a 25-minute conversation just to go to the store. And all that stuff is irrelevant, but we gotta talk about it for some reason. Gotta have conversations about stuff that's irrelevant. That's just when we just want to talk. Anyway, okay, I'm serious. I'm sorry. It's just the truth. It's my truth. It's what I've seen in life. Anyway, separate important to unimportant. Separating relevant to irrelevant. So I can ask a question like this. I asked somebody, I asked one of my good friends who happens to be a woman. I asked her, I said, hey, would you like to sell head wraps? What I asked her, would you like to sell head wraps? Or would you like to make money selling head wraps? Which is a yes or no question, right? It's yes or no. But the response wasn't yes or no. The response was, what do I have to do? And so my response was, well, first, you have to answer the question. Is it something that you would like to do? Everything else is irrelevant unless we know that you want to do. If you want to make money doing this, but you want to go into the details of what you have to do in order to do it, but you haven't determined whether you even desire to do it yet. And so I shut down. I'm not going to go. I'm not going to play that game. Yes or no? Okay, good. Yes. All right, fantastic. Now we can move forward. I asked you a simple question, yes or no. Now you've given a response, yes or no. Now we can talk about all the details. But it's something simple like that. And I'm not woman bashing. Men do this too. I'm just saying, I'm just giving you examples of what I've seen. How we make processes as human beings way more complex than they are. We can't do a simple yes or no because we feel like we're tied into something. We feel like, oh, it's too simple. We got to complicate them. Do you want to make money? Yes or no? That's it. But we want more information, right? And we want all the details. We can't even say whether that's something that we desire to do. You see why that can be a problem? You can't even say yes to making more money. You see how that can be a problem? Do you want to make more money? I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? Do you want to make more money? It don't take me long. Yes, I want to make more money. Absolutely. But we complicate. Anyway, must separate facts from their information, and then you got to separate the facts that you gather into two classes: important and non-important, relevant and the irrelevant. Now, only so doing can you think clearly. All facts which you can use in the attainment of your definite chief aim are important and relevant to you. So now this goes back to learning that first we have to determine what it is that we want to do, what our target is, what we're trying to accomplish. An example, I have some definite chief aim. Matter of fact, in the comments below, what's one of your definite chief aims? What's something that you are targeting, something that you want to accomplish, something that you want to do? Right? Now I got Miss True Empress here. Says she's in real estate. She's gonna do an LLC. So her target right now is it sounds like it's to accomplish creating a company for real estate. That's a definite chief aim. And of course, we didn't know exactly when, but I'm just saying, right? So as it relates to real estate, for her right now, the only facts that are important and relevant to her are those that help her accomplish her goal. That doesn't mean that those facts aren't facts. It just means that they're not relevant to her achieving what she wants to achieve right now. So she doesn't really need to give it that much time, that much energy, that much idle chatter, which only leads to poverty because it's not relevant to where she is going. It's not relevant to her pursuits. It's not important to her pursuits right now. See what I'm saying? But if we don't get focused on where we want to go and we don't start going there, we'll never be able to really separate the facts between what's important and what's unimportant to us and where we're going, what's relevant or irrelevant to us as it relates to where we're going. So it still goes back to, what do you want to do? What do you want to build? What do you want to accomplish? What's your goal? It all starts with your goal. Now, here's the deal. It doesn't mean that you only got one goal. It just means that you have one primary goal. Like it takes precedence. It takes priority over all the other little goals. What I'm asking you right now is, what is your primary goal? Your definite chief. Chief meaning primary. Chief being supreme. Chief being above all else. What is your definite? It's something that's definite. You know exactly what it is. It's chief. It reigns supreme over all your other little goals, and it is your aim. It's what you are shooting for. It's what you got your arrow out for. It's what you set your sights on. It's your bullseye. What's your definite chief aim? All facts which can use in the attainment of your definite chief aim are important and irrelevant. All that you cannot use are unimportant and irrelevant. It is mainly the neglect of some to make this distinction which accounts for the chasm which separates so widely people who appear to have equal ability and who have had equal opportunity without going outside of your own circle of acquaintance. Now I want you to think about your friends. I want you to think about the people that you hang around. I want you to think about the people that's in your life. Without going outside your own circle of acquaintances, you can point out one or more persons who have had no greater opportunity than you had, and who appear to have no more or perhaps less ability than you, but who are achieving greater success. I want you to think about right now someone in your circle, someone that you know, someone in your circle that has had no greater opportunity than you. They was raised in your neighborhood. They grew up with you, whatever. They have no real, perhaps they have less, they have no more and perhaps less ability. Y'all about the same. And you might be have a little bit better, but you might be stronger, you might be wiser. You might can run faster. I don't know. I don't know. You got all A's, they got all C's. I don't know. But you know, one person in your circle who grew up with you, who grew up like you, who grew up in the same hood. They got less ability than you, but they're achieving far greater success. I want you in the comments below just to put the first name of that person that came to your mind. They grew up in your hood. They grew up like you, with you, all that good stuff. They got no greater ability than you. Matter of fact, they got less ability than you. In other words, your potential was greater than theirs. You graduated, the valedictorian. They graduated at the bottom of the class. They grew up with you. They have less ability than you, but they are achieving greater success than you. Who's that person in your life? Woo, woo. That's now I'm telling you, we come here to think. Dang. Oh Lord. Oh Lord, True Empress says she ain't got nobody. It's time to change her circle. Absolutely. Join the Black Billionaires Club. See, when you can say something like that, I don't know if I think you're telling the truth. You're just being honest, and I think we be honest here. You're telling the truth. You're like, I ain't got nobody. That means that you're the smartest and you're the most successful in your room. Time for a new room. We say this all the time, right? If you're the smartest and you're the most successful, you're the smartest and the richest in your circle, in your room, it's time to find a new room. Because you ain't got no way, the influences in the room are bringing you down. Time to find a new room. Time to join the Black Billionaires Club so you don't have to be lonely. Listen, it's only, I'm telling you, oh God, revelation. It's only lonely at the top because you've been building by yourself. Type that down, hashtag ERGJ. Go ahead and spread that across social media. It's only lonely at the top because you've been building by yourself. Let me say that one more time for the people in the back. Yeah, it's only lonely at the top because you've been building by yourself. What does the African proverb say? If you want to go fast, you go alone. And you've been going alone because you're at the top of your class. You've been going alone because you're the smartest in the room. You've been going alone because you're the most successful in the room. You've been going alone because you haven't found other people who can help you level up. And you've been building by yourself, and you've been building fast. But if you want to go far, you want your business to go far, you want your bank account, your money to go long, you want your philosophy to spread beyond your living age, you want your inheritance to go long, you go together. And I'm trying to tell you that you have an opportunity to go together with the Black Billionaires Club. Woo! Lord Jesus, we got all that. We need, okay. So listen, it says, without going outside your own circle of acquaintances, you can point to one or more persons who have had no greater opportunity than you had, and who have had no more or perhaps less ability than you, who are achieving far greater success, and you wonder why. You wonder why. Search diligently, and you will discover that all such people have acquired the habit of combining the use and using the important facts which affect their line of work. Far more working harder than you, they are perhaps working less and with greater ease by virtue of their having learning the secret of separating the important facts from the unimportant. Everybody putting guys on separate. Now I think Demarius is here. Demarius, I'm sorry. He's here. And I've been teaching this brother this probably, I don't know how long, about separating. We having conversations or something like that. He'll start talking about stuff. I'll be like, that is unimportant. That don't matter. Hey, but he want to, you know, we want to get into our feelings or our thoughts, or we want to connect all this stuff. And I'll be like, they ain't got nothing to do with what we talking about right now. He be getting mad at me, but I don't care. I keep talking. What do you say? What do you say? I'm gonna shut up right now. But when you go, I'm gonna keep talking. But we be going back and forth because he's transitioning, right? He's transitioning to this entrepreneurship thing. And I'm like, well, I'm already an entrepreneur. I've already been doing this for almost 10 years, something like that. So I'm like, I'm trying to help him to see that a lot of things that he thinks are important are not important to his line of work, are not important right now. They may be important to somebody, but they don't have to be important to you. Woo! Now I want us to really gather this. We're talking about facts. It ain't like that these are lies. It's not like these are things that are not true. It's just that, are they important to our line of work? Are they important to where we're going? Are they worth even talking about right now? Most of it, no. I'm telling you. I'm like you said, Empress. She said she's fully focused. When you get fully focused on where you're going, you're going to notice that your conversation gets less and less. You're going to start borrowing out of conversations that have nothing to do with where you want to go. You're going to, I'm telling you, as you lock in, everybody putting guys on lock in. As you lock in on your target, as you lock in on your goal, as you lock in on your definite chief aim, you're going to notice that you don't talk as much. You just watch and be like, damn, y'all talking about that? What they got to do with you getting to where you want to be? Nothing. I'm not engaging in that conversation. This is why I say walk away from the crowd of broke, right? The crowd of broke, you can't, if you want to be, listen, if you want to be the top 5%, you cannot do what the 95% do. You can't go where they go. You can't talk about what they talk about. You can't think like they think. That's if. You want to be a black billionaire. You want to be the top 5%. You want to be the top of your class. You want to be what you cannot do what they do. You can teach them, but you can't hang with them all the time. I'm not saying don't go. I'm not saying don't have lunch with them or whatever. I'm just saying I'm talking about hang. Hang mean that you dwell with the 95%. You done made them your best friends. I'm telling you, if you want to be a part of 5%, you want to get to the 1%, you want to be at the top of your industry, you want to do things that are unusual, and you want to create new stuff or whatever it is that you do, you cannot hang with the 95%. You cannot dwell with the 95%. You can't think like they think. You can't talk like they talk. You can't do what they do unless you want to remain with the 95%. Woo! Search diligently, you will discover all such people are required to have a combining and using the important facts which affect their line of work. Far from working harder than you, they are perhaps working less and with greater ease by virtue of their having learned the secret of separating the important facts from the unimportant. They have provided themselves with a sort of fulcrum and lever with which they can move with their little fingers loads that you cannot budge with the entire weight of your body. The person who forms a habit of directing his attention to the important facts out of which he is constructing his temple of success, thereby provides himself with a power which may be likened to a trip hammer which strikes a 10-ton blow as compared to a tack hammer which strikes a 1-pound blow. If these similes appear to be elementary, you must keep in mind the fact that some of the students of this course have not yet developed the capacity to think in more complicated terms, and to try to force them to do so will be the equivalent of leaving them hopelessly behind. That you may understand the importance of distinguishing between facts and mere information. Study that type of man who is guided entirely by that which he hears. Think about this. People that you know that are guided only by what they hear. The type who is influenced by all the whisperings of the winds of gossip, that accepts without analysis all that he reads in the newspapers and judges others by what their enemies and competitors and contemporaries say about them. This is the person who forms all of his thoughts, all of his beliefs around what he reads on TV, or what he watches on TV, what he reads in the newspaper, what he listens to on the radio. Everything that he thinks or believes without analysis comes from what he hears or sees, and he never thinks about or analyzes the information that comes across his pathway. That's the 95%. I mean, what is it to be a person who believes everything you see on TV? What is it to be a person who believes everything you see on Facebook? What is it to be a person who believes everything you see on Instagram? What is it? I mean, to simply look at something and say that must be true just because it's on the internet. Huh? Oh yeah, I read this the other day. Yeah, man, it's going down. Why is it going? Oh, because I read it on Google. Huh? That's why? That must be true because it's on Google? Huh? Search your circle of acquaintances. Now we're going back to our acquaintances again, thinking about people that we hang around or in our circle, grew up with us, all this stuff. Search your acquaintances and pick out one. So now you're going to do it again. We're going to pick out one person that comes to mind. We think that just put their first name. All right. Search your circle of acquaintances and pick out one of this type as an example to keep your mind while we are on this subject. Who is it that you know that all they believe is what they see on TV or the internet or Facebook? You're like, damn, I don't know if I can help you. I mean, brother, Lord, dang, it's true because you saw it on TV? Wow. Observe that this man usually begins his conversation with some of the such terms as this: I see by the papers, or they say. The accurate thinker knows that the newspapers are not always accurate in their reports. He also knows that what they say usually carries more falsehood than truth. If you have not risen above the I see by the papers and the they say class, you still have far to go before you become an accurate thinker. Of course, much truth and many facts travel in the guise of idle gossip and newspaper reports, but the accurate thinker will not accept as such all that he sees and hears. This is why the great book says this: although they have ears, they cannot hear. Although they have eyes, they cannot see. This is a point which I feel compelled to emphasize for the reason that it constitutes the rocks and reefs on which so many people flounder and go down to the feet in the bottomless ocean of false conclusions. Everybody put a console false. There you go. Trip has hit it right on the head. Fake news, false conclusions, alternative news. Right? Now I hope at this point, I hope now it's 2018, almost 2019. And you still believe everything you see on TV? You still believe everything you read on Facebook? You still believe everybody that picks up a mic in the church? You still believe this stuff? It's 2018. You ain't realized by now that propaganda is real? You don't understand by now that the ultimate motive of those who are against you is greed, the love of money? You don't realize this by now, that they'll do whatever it takes to get you to spend your money with them? You don't realize this by now, that they'll do whatever it takes to get that money to come out of your pocket and into their storehouses? You don't realize this by now, that the love of money is the root of all evil? You don't know this by now? 40 years living here on this earth, you done heard this over and over and over again, and you still don't understand? You've been going to church your whole life and you still don't understand? How long? How long? In the realm of legal procedure, there's a principle which is called the law of evidence. Uh-oh. Everybody put also the law of evidence. And the object of this law is to get at the facts. Any judge can proceed with justice to all concerned if he has the facts upon which to base his judgment. But he may play havoc with innocent people if he circumvents the law of evidence and reaches a conclusion or judgment that is based upon hearsay information. The law of evidence varies according to the subject and the circumstance with which it is used, but you will not go far wrong if the absence of that which you know to be facts, you form your judgments and on the hypothesis that only that part of the evidence before you which furthers your own interest without working any hardship on others is based upon facts. This is a crucial and important point in this lesson. Therefore, I wish to be sure that you do not pass by it lightly. Many a man mistakes, knowingly or otherwise, expediency for fact, doing a thing or refraining from doing it for the sole reason that his action furthers his own interest without consideration as to whether it interferes with the rights of others. No matter how regrettable, it is true that most thinking of today, far from being accurate, is based upon sole foundation of expediency. Listen to what he just said. Most thinking of today, and it's even, I mean, this was written, I don't know when, it's 2018, and this is still relevant. Most people think about how fast they can get it, how fast they can acquire it, how quickly will it be done. They don't think about whether it's true, whether it's right, whether it's a fact. They think about how quickly can we get it over with. It's called impatient. They won't even let the evidence come out. They won't even, matter of fact, I got so many examples of this. I remember back probably 5 years ago. And of course, you guys know how I feel about multi-level marketing, but needless to say, there's a company called multi-level marketing, the company called Wake Up Now. Everybody put calls on Wake Up Now because we need to wake up now. It was called Wake Up Now. And I was being heavily recruited to join Wake Up Now. And so I said, well, let me do some research and get some evidence. Let me find some facts about Wake Up Now, which most people don't do. They never research these companies that they want to connect themselves to. And here's what I look for when I say facts. What I look for, what I determine or consider before I join anything is their financials. How did they do last year? How did they do for the past 5 years? What's their ratio like? Who's at the top? How much money they're making, and how many people on the bottom, and how much money they not making? I look for facts. I go and I do some deep diving because they got to report their numbers as a company, and I can find their numbers. Now, they can lie about their numbers they won't, but that's going to be the IRS thing. So I did some research, and I got some facts. And I noticed that for the past This is 5 years ago. For the past 3 years, they've been operating in the red. They've been losing money. I noticed that they filed bankruptcy and then they reemerged as a new company. I said, well, something ain't right. So, of course, the person who got the facts and not just mere information tried to go back to the people who had information and say, hey, did you notice this? Did you even think about looking at this? This is what has been going on with this company. And y'all are recruiting, but none of y'all are selling stuff. So now y'all just got a whole bunch of people who ain't making no money other than off of other people. Called a pyramid scheme. Lo and behold, 6 months later, Wake Up Now went out of business. And the people who were associated, who were trying to make money, who all this stuff and recruiting, now they were out of business. Why? Because they were filled with information and zero facts. They wouldn't listen to facts. They were only moved and by mere information. They were moved by fake news. They were moved by hype. And I'm telling you that these people, they will do whatever it takes to get you to move. They will play on your hope. They will play on your ambition. They will play on your desire. They will pimp the poor. They will do whatever it takes to get your money, because the love of money is the root of all evil. Now, guess who was the bad guy when he was presenting the facts? But guess who was the good guy when they realized that the facts were the facts? Oh, I should have listened to you. Same thing happened. Oh, I know. Let me give you another example. The same thing happened with Tesla Water. When I started presenting the facts, I was the bad guy. Because you're always the bad guy when you go against the norm. You're always the bad guy when you're trying to help people see the truth. You're always the bad guy. Matter of fact, Jesus got killed because he told the truth. Think about that. They're going to crucify you for telling the truth. No reason why people lie all the time, because they'll get crucified for telling the truth. You will vilify a person for telling you the truth. Honey, tell a woman that dress don't look all that good. You get vilified for telling the truth. This is the world we live in. That's why the good book says, be not conformed to the ways of this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Tell the truth always. Now, you may not make it in this world. You may not get far in this plane, but tell the truth anyway and see how high I take it. See how high your heavenly Father, the universe, the supreme, whatever you want to call it. See how high the laws of this universe will level you up if you simply tell the truth always. You think I care about hurting your feelings because I tell you the truth? No! That's your feelings, not mine. I'm going to tell the truth. Woo! It's amazing to the more advanced student of accurate thought how many people there are who are honest when it's profitable to them, but find myriads of facts to justify themselves and following a dishonest course when that course seems to be more profitable or advantageous. No doubt you know people who are like that. The accurate thinker adopts a standard. Everybody putting Gonzo standard. He adopts a standard by which he guides himself, and he follows that standard at all times. Whether it works always to his immediate advantage or carries him now and then through the fields of disadvantage, as it will undoubtedly will. The accurate thinker deals with facts, regardless of how they affect his own interest, for he knows that ultimately this policy, everybody put in console policy, this policy will bring him out on top. In full possession of the object of his definite chief aim in life. He understands the soundness of the philosophy that the old philosopher Croesus had in mind when he said, there's a wheel on which the affairs of men revolve, and its mechanism is such that it prevents any man from being always fortunate. Whew. Well, that's going to be our time today, guys. Hopefully you got something out of the day as we do our study. This is all about, this is just me studying. I've just decided I'm going to share things with you. Those who are serious, those who want something more out of life, those that want to go to another level. I'm just sharing things with you that I have done and have been doing that has helped me to get to where I am in life. And I still got a long way to go. My great teacher, my great mentor, my virtual billionaire best friend says this: price is what you pay, but value is what you get. Right now, I want to think about the price you pay to be here. 1 hour of your time to join us here on the Black Billionaires Book Club as we're going through the Law of Success, Lesson 10, Accurate Thought. That didn't cost you any money, but it cost you something more valuable than money, which is your time. And as you think about the time that you spent here, now I want you to think about the value that you received. What did you learn today? In other words, in the comments below, I'd like for you to answer this question. Was it worth your time, and why? I don't do this just to entertain you. I do this to empower you so you can change the way that you think, get some accurate thought going on, and you can change your life forever. Now, I know I talk way faster than you type, so I'll give you an opportunity to do that right now. I also want to remind you again, 2 days left to make a $10 decision to join the Black Billionaires Club, where we do this all the time. Go to www.theblackbillionairesclub.com, www.theblackbillionairesclub.com, and make a $10 decision to join the BBC today before it becomes a $20 decision, before it becomes a $30 decision, before it becomes a $50 decision, before it becomes a $100 decision, before it becomes a $1,000 decision. Don't be the person that waits and says, why does it cost so much? Because the answer is going to be because you procrastinated when it costs a little bit. Also, I want you to go check out www.blacklegacy.com, blklegacy.com, to check out some dope teas made by my business partner, in theory, or something like that. Okay? Go ahead and check out some dope teas, man. You want to get some dope teas, some dope apparel, hats, and all this stuff. You come to all types of stuff. Blacklegacy.com, blklegacy.com. Well, guys, I want you to remember this, man, that it takes a village, and it starts with us. It starts with a man and woman looking in the mirror and deciding they're going to be the change that they want to see. Stop complaining and start changing. Let's build, people. Let's build these bank accounts. Let's build this community. Let's build these businesses. But most importantly, let's build one another. But let's do it together. We all we got. But guess what? That's enough. I pray to God to preserve each and every one of you, that you'll get out this weekend and you'll be a person that's collecting checks and instead of just giving your check away. Don't be a person that's spending 3 days not making any money, but then complain on Tuesday while you're still on the plantation. You better get up, get out, and get something. Until next time, you know what time it is. DJ, hit the music. Thank you.